Hi class, this is course 3, lesson 85, surface area of prisms and cylinders. So surface area, remember, we're going to find out how much area is on the surface. So in this case, we're looking at a cylinder, and we want to compute the surface area of the cylinder in terms of pi. So we're not going to use 3.14, and we're not going to use 22/7, we're going to leave it as pi. So the surface area is the area of the top and the area of the bottom and the area of the sides. And so if you can draw or sketch those pictures of those items or the net, that will help you calculate the surface area. So the top and the bottom are two identical, two congruent circles, and the sides are like if you cut the label off of a can and you unfold it, it makes a rectangle. Now this distance here, this long side, is the side that wraps around the edge of the circle. So that's why the long side is actually the circumference of the base. Okay, and you know circumference is C equals pi times diameter. And so they took the diameter of 4 times the pi, and that's how they got that. This would be the height of the can, and these are the two congruent bases. So let's calculate the surface area. So the area of a circle, we use A equals pi times radius squared. So pi times your radius 2 squared is 4, and then we're always going to put the pi last. Okay, so it's going to be 4 pi. But I have two of those. So this one is 4 pi as well. And 4 pi plus 4 pi is 8 pi. Okay, we have 4 times this plus 4 times that, so we can combine them and call it 8 pi. It's as if pi were a variable, which it's not. Pi is actually a constant. It represents 3.1415, blah, blah, you know, on and on and on. But we can combine those coefficients and call it 8 pi. So the area of the two bases is 8 pi. Well, this other piece is just a rectangle, so you take 4 pi times 5, and 4 times 5 is 20 pi. So we now have 8 pi plus 20 pi. And there again, we can combine those, and we have 28 pi. And it didn't tell us that this was centimeters or inches or anything, so we're going to write units squared. Okay, here's a triangular prism, and we need to find the surface area in square feet. So one of the things that you can do is make a net of the prism. And so you know that you have two triangular, it says triangular prisms, so two bases that are congruent, your triangles, and then you have to determine the lengths of the other sides. Okay, so what we've done here is unfolded, like flopped down the triangles, and then undone, cut apart the triangular structure and folded them down. So see how this says 5 here, so we know that that's 5. And this side says 5, so we know that's 5. And the height between the two bases is 7, so that will be consistent throughout. And then we know that this length here is 6, and the height on our triangles is 4. So while it doesn't say that this is 6 up here, we know it is. So notice how we have these labeled area 1, area 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can label them however you want. You just need to make sure that you calculate all of the areas and add them up. So the area of 1 would be 1/2 base times height, because they're triangles. So we would take 1/2 4 times 6. So that would be 2, so we would end up with 12 for A1. And A2, because they're congruent, is going to be identical. So we have 12 there as well. The area 3 is a rectangle that is 7 by 5. So the area there is 35. Now notice that A4 is congruent to A3, so it's there again 7 by 5, which is 35. And A5 is going to be 6 by 7, which is 42. And then we just add these all up. So this is 24, this is 70, and 42. 40, 50, 60, 66 plus 70, 130, whoop, not 2, whoop, wrong button, sorry about that, 136, and we wanted square feet, so we have feet squared. Okay, last thing for today, lateral surface area. We've already talked about that. It's the area of the faces between the two bases. So it's the area, but not of the two bases. So you can calculate the perimeter of one base and multiply the perimeter and the height of the cylinder or prism. So in this example, Hector wants to paint the exterior walls of a shed. Find the lateral surface area of the shed. So he's not painting the bottom and he's not painting the top. So the perimeter would be 8 times 2 and 10 times 2, because we have two congruent sides that are 8 and 2 that are 10. So that's 16 and 20, and we'd add those up and get 36. So that's our perimeter. Perimeter of the base. 36 feet. And to find the lateral surface area, we multiply that times the height, which is 7. 42, 21, 25, 252 feet squared. So then Hector could calculate how much paint he needs. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed learning more about calculating surface area in cylinders and prisms. I'll see you in class.